Okay, today we're going to make a class party form. We're going to go through the entire process here. Valentine's Day class party sign up. So that seems like a good template. Let's see what the prompt is for that. Classroom party next Friday. Okay, that looks pretty good. Treats, paper products, friendly. So first step is get our prompt right. So next Friday we're going to say February 13th, which is actually a Friday also, but that'll help. So what this is going to do is set it on the 13th. We have a 1 hour party. Obviously you can adjust that in the form or here. We've got treats, some drinks, paper products. So this should be good for a party. And we're even setting the max for each respondent here, which makes the initial form creation great. So when I click generate form, take a few seconds to create that initial form structure and drop me right into it. So here I am. I'm going to get this quick settings guide. So this is helpful for some of the settings that I may want to easily do. I can readjust these in the form or in the options. Public summary, yes, I am going to want folks to be able to see who else has signed up, just so they don't bring the same things, and they can also see which of their parent peers have joined as well. This does have limited slots since we want only a specific number of people volunteering each item. We'll optional comments so they can add maybe some details on what they're bringing. And I want to, let's go ahead and we're going to keep this one focused so that each person can pick one thing versus letting people pick multiple things, just to give more people access to contribute. So those have been applied. So here's my title, class party sign up, self-explanatory there. And when I go to event details, I'm going to put this stuff as a nice convenience for my respondents. We're going to have 1 hour event location. I'm going to say Union Mill Elementary. That is where I went to elementary school long ago. We'll put the map because that's always cool. We don't really need a submission deadline for this one. Let's see here. Form adjustments. So let's go down. What I'm going to add, I'm just going to add a field here just in case I don't recognize the parent, child's name. We will not make that required, just as a nice thing for us to have. So we're getting the name of the participant, their email address, their child's name. We have comments turned on from before, and here's the options that I have. So we want heart-shaped treats. We're going to add one here that says like brownies, cookies, and I'm going to move that up here just so it's right by the food. What these things mean is that comments are enabled, so we're going to keep that on all of them. Drinks, paper products, we'll just add some context here like plates, napkins, cups. Drinks, it's good. Craft supplies, so we'll have some crafts, we'll have some games, and that's kind of all I really want to know. I don't have any additional questions that I need to ask. If I did, I could put them here, like something like, if you're going to bring a tray, do you want that tray returned with your child or pick it up later, stuff like that. This one, I have a lot of cool themes I can choose from. A lot of these are good for different events, but for this one, we've got a perfect theme here since it's a Valentine's party, so we're going to pick that one. And then I've got this set up in a test account, so we're going to save that and see what the form looks like. So we kind of hit all the settings that we wanted to cover. When I see the form, this is my link, so I can go view the form, which we'll do in a second. But first I'm going to go look. Well, let's just actually take a look at that. So here's what our form looks like. When we open the form, we've got this cool little animation of what the respondent would see. So it opens up like a little invite, classroom party sign up. Here's what we see here. Here's those event details. Name, email, child's name, not required. Heart-shaped treats. They can add comments. And that's it. So, and then they can click this to see who's signed up. No one yet, since we just created the form. Let's go back into our settings here. And one of the things we first want to do is just make sure the form is in good shape. So We don't need to set reminders yet, but I think we will probably want them. Got the public response summary. I don't need this random selection here. All these look good. I do want a wait list in case there's more people that want to participate. We'll hide the header just for a nice clean look. And that looks pretty good. We do want to use, I'm going to use a form image. So I'm going to generate with AI here. So we're going to say class party Valentine's graphic. Let's just see what we get here. This will be a Google Nano Banana image that will get generated that we can use for the form. And generally that takes, I don't know, 10 seconds. So I like that. That's pretty cool. We can use that image. That saves the image up here in my images, and I can adjust the settings. I like to make these large. We'll go ahead and put that in the center, and I always like rounded corners too. So if we want to see what that looks like, we will copy this link, and let's go take a look at our form now. So that looks pretty cool. Nice looking thematic form. And that gets us in a pretty good spot. So we don't really need to worry about these other settings. Let's go back into our form, and we can make a couple tweaks here. So I'm going to center the header, even though it's long enough to look centered anyway. We'll just center this for consistency. And when I go down, what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to use advanced options, and I'm going to put enable option description. This lets me add some context here when people click this option. So heart-shaped treats, I think that one is pretty clear. There's cookies. Please ensure these are nut-free. Just as a precaution, drinks, we'll give some suggestions like juice boxes or waters. Bottled beverages and paper products. That's pretty clear. Craft supplies, games. And then we have these comments. So add additional details about your selection. That's probably good enough for what we're asking for. And then in my description, I'm going to add classroom. I'm just going to say class party. Our class has 27 students. Please ensure are enough supplies for all. Please specify what you will bring in the comments. So that gets us in a pretty good spot. And so we've got our descriptions, brownies, cookies. Let's have 2 people can volunteer for that. Drinks 2. Paper products 2 is good. Craft supplies 2, games 2. That sounds good. I think that should be enough for our party. We'll save that. Actually, why don't we check it? Just see if anything interesting comes up. Looks good. That's great. It checks for a few different things that are common mistakes that can be made on initial forms. And then let's go take a look at the form again. And we're about done here. So here's our form. Looks really cool with this. Again, the envelope opens up when they first visit the page. And when someone clicks these, they'll be able to provide details or brownies, cookies. Let's go ahead and submit one just to see the full experience. We'll do test. Oops. Test it. And then we'll do Charlie here. Brownies and cookies. I'm just going to put chocolate chip cookies. And that's what I'm volunteering for. When I submit, I will land on this thank you page that shows me what I'm doing. I got a confirmation email here. If I want to add to my calendar as a reminder, I can. And then now let's go ahead and go back and we'll touch on those reminders. So for this, we're going to have some simple email reminders to any of the guests. I'm in the Eastern time zone, so it defaulted this. I still want to send one email. I want to send this 24 hours in advance, just as a nice reminder. If I'm a Premium plus Boost user, I can pick email and SMS. I would need to collect the phone number if I wanted to do that as well, but email is totally fine for this one. Each option's event time. I want to pick all options. So I'm going to click it, save it for all of them. I'm going to click auto detect times. Hopefully it goes and finds the date and my party. So that's good. It found that in the description. So it's going to go through, pick all these. I'm just going to double check and make sure the event times look correct, which they all do. It's the right year, the right date. It's the 23rd. And so this is looking at the event time. And then my reminder time automatically gets set for, wait, let's see, did I pick this correct? Let's just toggle that. 20, oh, it was already correct. So the 13th, it's setting, and then the 12th at 2 o'clock, it's going to send that reminder to all the guests. I could add a message here. I'm not going to. I can test this to see what it'll look like. But I know this looks good, so I'm going to save it. And now I've got reminders. So anytime someone signs up, they will get a reminder 1 day in advance of the event. And that's what we have for our Valentine's Day class party sign up.